guys and gals, Nary here from Drakewing Gaming, and some of you know me on Twitter, the Gaming Dragon. Today I'm coming back at you another Let's Play episode of Polar Night. Ooh, excuse me. Also, without further ado, let's go ahead and jump right back into it, shall we? Alarm Chan, you are up, and let's go! Alright, let's see what's going on. Yes, but... She looks really shaken, her eyes darting to Joseph as if to confirm something. But... The impatience in her voice was matched only by the agitated thrashing of her tail. Communications are still down. Seriously, I thought I'd restored power to communications. Emphasis on thought. I was firm, but June only looked even more upset. Then it means that our comms are still down for some other reason. Maybe the power failure damaged them or something, but we can't contact land and our GPS is offline. I'll do what I can, but you... He gestured to me, our eyes meeting, and I felt a pang of anger. You probably damaged something when you messed with it. Were you not paying attention? I fixed the fucking thing. At least as best I could tell from. Enough! This is not helping. I stewed my resentment, giving the bull a glare, but he was now watching Sheriff with an intense look. Now, I want to hear an explanation from the bosun here, and I hope for your sake it's better than the pathetic excuse you gave earlier. Oh, God. Southern voice, okay. Wait, I don't get what's going on. Did you say Garrett fixed the engine? I'll let him explain, if you wouldn't mind. She gestured to me, now all eyes were on me. Whatever frustration and anger I had evaporated. I might as well have had a spotlight on me. Well, I restored power. I wouldn't say I repaired things, technically, but the power system is a piece of shite. I was lucky not to blow the damn thing up, it was so fragile. But you didn't get communications on, though, right? I thought I did, but I don't know. Joseph would be the one to ask. That fortunately drew the intense gazes away from me and onto Joseph, who, sure enough, did not respond or emote in any way. Christ, maybe he should teach being calm under pressure. He certainly shouldn't teach engineering. I wonder what kind of voice I should do for Joseph. What is his nationality? I think he's Norwegian? Ship is in a bad way. As only engineer, I can only fix so much. I think we all tell the ship is in a bad way, thank you. The question is, what are you doing about it? We should return to port. We'll guarantee it will not happen again. If we don't have communications or GPS, can we even find our way back? Where's Aaron at? I haven't seen him chiming in. Of course, we can still use charts, but repairing the ship is going to take time. It's going to take time, though. I don't know if the repairs can be done before your charter ends. That is outrageous! His bellow caught us off guard, and June shrank back from him. This is unacceptable! If the voyage must be postponed, I demand a refund! You'll need to speak to the captain! The look he gave her chilled my blood, and I wasn't even his target. Without another word, he swept towards the stairs and stomped up towards the bridge. I'd have offered silent sympathies to the captain, but honestly, I was almost as pissed as Sharif. A chilled silence settled over the room, not helped by the fact that it was now freezing in here. So, is the heating going to come on? I don't think I'll make it back to port before I freeze. I noticed Stefan slinking his way towards the stairs to the bridge deck. His eyes met mine and he made a silent shh to me. Aaron seemed to spot him too. He started sidling as nonchalantly as possible in his direction. Well, fella, you ain't going to do your job and get the heating up again? As pissed as Joseph had been before, I felt like it had been more a reaction to what he thought was a non-engineer screwing with the breakers. More scolding reaction with real anger. This time, though. I do not like your tone. I don't like your work quality. Guys, enough! Let's not fight! June finally seemed to recapture some of that steel I saw yesterday when she told off Aaron and Dana. The pair of brutes squared off. Even Dana straightened up and took a step toward them, raising her hands. Wait a minute, you two just calm down. She and June stepped between them, June placating Joseph while Dana talked Rufus down. A tense few moments passed before Joseph gave a loud, contemptuous snort and turned, storming off toward the cabin corridor. Part of me was pissed at him, but at the same time I felt like I needed to get his side of the story. His reaction finding out it was a Sparky was very odd to me. His cryptic behavior so far made it obvious he was hiding something, and that breaker box was just a start. I didn't believe for a moment he had been sleeping. When I turned to look toward the bridge deck stairs, I saw two pairs of paws vanishing at the top. Stefan and Aaron, no doubt. Maybe they were going to join Sharif on giving the captain a bollocking. No, Stefan didn't seem the type to shout at someone unless it was about cryptids, aliens, or whatnot. Second, y'all. Water time. Yeah, we have a lot of unanswered questions today. Maybe they were going to eavesdrop. I had to admit, I'd love to be a fly on the wall in there right now. I was getting the impression Sharif wasn't being entirely honest with us either. What should I do? Oh, follow Stefan, Aaron under construction. Okay. Follow Joseph. With the possible flight diffused, I slipped around the gathered group and made my way towards the cabin. At the bottom of the stairs, I spotted Joseph already halfway towards the engineering deck stairs. Joseph, wait! I half expected him to ignore me, but surprisingly, he stopped and half-turned, glancing back curiously. I jogged up to him and turned to fully face me. His expression was, per usual, blank and emotionless. I need to talk to you about the breakers. Joseph glanced behind me, as if checking as if anyone was following us before silently beckoning me. I followed, not sure where he was leading me. We went down to engineering, but this time turned right at the bottom and led me to a door on the opposite side of the engine room. I'd have expected a tool shop or some storeroom, but it was a small cabin, spartan and immaculately tidy. He watched me evenly, and I was getting another "he's trying to gauge me" feel. The radio and GPS I can fix, maybe a few hours. Everything else... He spread his hands in a hopeless gesture. That bad? Duh. The others won't be pleased about that. His look was the epitome of, and that's my problem? I did not know you were an engineer. Electrician, actually. What does that matter? He paused again before continuing. You must know, electrical system is in shambles. Aye, you don't say. A flicker across his face, irritation perhaps. The ship was in bad way before I came along. It was not my fault. Why did you take this job, then? I did not know when I took job. His tone turned sharp and his eyes narrowed. It seemed questioning his competence was a sore spot. I would have left long ago, but... His words caught in his throat as he thought he had just come to his senses and stopped himself. I wasn't going to let him off that easy. But... He refused to meet my gaze. It had to be the first time I had seen him look genuinely uncomfortable. Joseph, I'm not looking for dirt or to pass blame. I just want to know what's going on. If the Sylvia is as bad as you say it is... I realized how absurd that sounded as soon as I said it, given all that had happened. Which I totally believe, by the way. But I want your side of the story. If you take so much pride in your work, why would you stick with this shit heap? Again, he looked uncomfortable, but he seemed to be mulling it over. I decided to press my luck. You're the only engineer in a rickety old tub, and you just saw it. You got all the blame when something inevitably went wrong. Why do that to yourself? Not by choice! He finally snapped at me. He sounded wounded, offended even. I cannot tell you why, but I work here before because I must. I know how bad the ship is. I do my best. You think I would work on a death trap willingly? Nope, not having it. You expect me to believe anyone could force you to do something. Bus, blit! Oh, so he's... okay. He might actually... okay, so he might actually be Russian. So I'm gonna see if I can do a Russian accent for him. He pulled himself up to his full height, looming over me. I won't lie, my ears pinned back and my stomach did flip-flops in terror. But I stood my ground regardless. See if I can do Russian accent. You think I can solve things with violence? That I just throw my weight around and get what I want? Truth be told, he looked like he was ready to throw my weight around. Violence does not solve things, it makes them worse. He was breathing heavily, and I could feel the warmth of his breath on my face. It took every effort to suppress a soft whimper of terror. Jesus. He stared down at me, struggling to get himself under control before slowly pulling back, raising his palms towards me. So, you know, water time. Ooh, that's some good bubbly. Sorry, I am sorry. That was not called for. My own racing heart slowed as he turned and sank, dejected to the bed. I don't know how long I stood there, paws rooted to the floor. The terror melted in concern as I watched the giant bury his face in his hands. I don't think he was crying, but he certainly was in distress. My heart fell. I was never any good at knowing what to say to comfort someone. Taking a few tentative steps towards him, my mouth opened a few times as I tried to think of what to say. I'm sorry. I didn't mean anything by it. He twitched, and slowly raised his head from his hands. Sure enough, his eyes glistened through his face, though his face was dry. I don't know what's going on, and I won't lie, I'm kind of scared, too. I don't want to be stranded out here. You won't. His voice was suddenly firm. His hands rested on his knees as he gave me one of his stony stares. We'll get you all back to port, I swear. His voice was solemn. It almost sounded like he was trying to convince himself as much as me. All right, I believe you. The truth was I did. Or at least I believed he was sincere. I understand a professional curiosity, but please, do not go into engine room again. He slowly pushed himself to his feet, his enormous body groaning with fatigue. You saw yourself what a shit heap it is. But that being the case, I could give you a hand, just until we get to shore. Come on, man. Part of me was genuine in my desire to offer him a hand, to share the load, but as much as I felt his sincerity, I knew something was up. If I could just get another look at that breaker box. No. This time, a shred of that anger slipped through and he met my eyes. Promise me you will not go near engine room again, Garrett. Give me your word as a man. It's clear he wasn't going to budge. He folded his arms and gave me a look that felt like he was reading my mind. Okay, fine, I promise. I relented, throwing my hands up. He didn't seem satisfied, though, and after another moment of glaring, he extended a hand. Huh. Oh boy. Shake. His huge hand hovered before me. Men shake. Give their word, stand by their word. I'm trusting you in this, Garrett. His words were so sincere, so forceful. The kind of cheesy sentiment slipped by me. I accepted his handshake, feeling his hand grasp mine tightly. Aye, you've got my word. He gave a curt nod, and though it was just a handshake, I got the feeling this was something more to him, more meaningful. Privoskino. Finally, for the first time, he cracked a warm smile. When we have nothing left, we have our word. Now. He clapped his hands together. Please go to the lounge, and give my regards to June. Oh. I snapped my finger, suddenly remembering. June had something she wanted to ask you, but you were too busy. She says her cabin door sticks. She hurt her arm this morning trying to open it. He looked surprised, but gave me a kind look. Spasibo. I will tend to it after I have completed repairs. With the last nod of understanding, I turned and left. Nope. Everyone was now present, except Joseph, of course. Sharif was standing with his arms folded while the others were standing around him. Judging from the raised voices, no one was happy. We came all this way. We can't just give up now. Are you even listening to yourself? We don't have communications or even heating. Joseph will get those up and running, and failing that, we have Garrett. Despite my attempt at a discreet entrance, she spotted me. Speak of the devil, did you go and take a look at the damage? Damage? Oh, no, I went to speak with Joseph. And what did he have to say for himself? Just that he was going to get us back to port. The looks I get told me that no one was reassured. And the radio. He says he can get communications back in a few hours. Could you repair it? Me? You are an electrical engineer, yes? Well, yeah, but the breaker was a mess and a half and the engine room is an electrical hazard. I wouldn't know where to start without Joseph's help. I'm sure Joseph could. Sheriff, Joseph got us into this mess. I am well aware, but he could at least give Garrett the necessary guidance. Joseph wouldn't want me near the engine room anymore, so I doubt he'd help me. Doesn't want me to... Sharif looked increasingly frustrated. Well, since you were gone, we've been discussing where we go from here. If we go back now, we might never get another shot at this. Oh, there's Aaron. One second now. Water time. Oh, that's good bubbly. Of course we can. We get a refund. Find another ship. It's not that simple. Even if I get a full refund from the captain, some of the funds cannot be recovered. The sonar equipment, for example. There are significant costs getting it here, installing it. Look, I don't care about money. No amount of money is worth our lives, and I don't know about y'all, but I ain't looking to die out here in the Arctic. Right. If we had to call this off, I'm all for it. I'm not. We won't get another shot at this. Stefan. Look, I get it. I'm the weirdo and everyone thinks I'm insane. I get it. But I can't be the only one who gives a shit about finding out one way or the other, right? I mean, could you all seriously say you can sleep soundly at night not knowing? Just wondering if they're really out there, starving and cold. His anger melted as he spoke until he trailed off, as though his own imagery was getting to him. Stefan, I get it, I really do, but all it takes is another breakdown and... Like, how long would it take for us to be considered missing? Y'all heard June, right? Less than a minute in the water out here is enough to kill. You think it's cold now? Imagine if we need to use our lifeboats. Assuming they work, of course. I get the danger, but everyone here is really okay giving up on the one shot we have of getting answers? A moment of quiet passed over us. Stefan gave her a grateful look, but she looked rather ambivalent. Answers don't mean much if we're dead, too. What if we hadn't gotten the engine running again? Getting all these accents mixed up, Jesus. Oh, I'm alright. I'm gonna go ahead and pause it right there. Thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, ring that notification bell. Leave a super thanks. Your tip if you can, it always helps. Until the next video, I love you all. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.